Hello, welcome to a new edition of the Right Wing Populist podcast. I am the Right Wing Populist. So today I want to discuss whether or not Trump is going full neocon. That's something I didn't expect to have to talk about during his second term, but unfortunately, the question has to be asked, is Trump gone full neocon? The last 5 days, really the last 9 days, have been arguably the worst 9 days of either of his two administrations. With what he had to say about immigration, talking about amnesty for workers on big farms and resorts, to now allowing Israel to strike Iran and potentially sending our soldiers and weaponry to now help Israel fight Iran. It's been a disaster. Now, the one good news is it does appear, according to the Washington Post, the administration is walking back those guidelines, the new guidelines they had about not deporting illegal immigrants who are working on farms and at resorts. So that's good. I think that shows that, the administration will still respond to public backlash from the base. And that's good to know because we need the base to mobilize to prevent Trump from doing the same mistake George W. Bush made and get the U.S. involved in another foreign war in the Middle East. We can't have that happen. It destroyed Bush's presidency. It would destroy Trump's second presidency. We can't allow it. And it's been very disturbing to hear some of the things Trump has said recently. He was asked about Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's been on the warpath trying to prevent war with Iran. He's been going on Steve Bannon. He's been going on his own show he had Steve Bannon on his podcast, and then he went on Steve Bannon's War Room show. He's been making it clear that if Trump, and he's been on social media saying that if Trump goes to war with Iran, it will destroy his presidency and will destroy MAGA and destroy the anti-war coalition that helped Trump get elected. And Trump was asked about Tucker Carlson's criticism at the G7, and he had this to say.
Carlson, you criticized me saying that you're complicit in the war.
I don't know what Tucker Carlson is saying. Let him go get a television network and say it so that people listen. Thank you.
Trump went on to then criticize Tucker Carlson on Truth Social, saying, "Somebody please explain to kooky Tucker Carlson that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon," all caps. So it's like, Trump, when are you gonna grow up, man? I love you. It's been 10 years since you went down the escalator. I basically been supporting you since day one. But Jesus Christ, man. Attacking one of your most prominent media supporters during all this time, Tucker Carlson, because he's rightly calling you out for betraying your promise to not get us involved in any Middle Eastern conflicts. I mean, grow up, man. I'm sorry. I mean, you can't defend this. Like, I've defended Trump throughout the years, through college, high school, with friends, family. Defended this guy, trying to push against, the caricature that he's this, this blowhard who's crass and doesn't care about the world and only cares about himself. But when he says stupid shit like that about one of his biggest supporters in the media, it's like, I can't defend that. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Tucker's trying to help you, man. He's trying to help you he's trying to stop you from destroying your own presidency. And you call him kooky, which, by the way, is one of the lamest nicknames Trump has ever come up with. Maybe Trump's just too old now. I don't know. That was a terrible one. Kooky Tucker Carlson. A good one, man. I mean, you still have it. You still have your fastball, obviously. I mean, God damn, this is just... I'm sorry, I can't defend this. I love Trump, but he's about to make the biggest mistake of either of his two presidencies, sending troops to help Israel fight Iran, and he's criticizing people who are trying to help him. We're trying to help him. We're not trying to hurt you, Trump. We're trying to help you. Look, Iran. First off, I don't believe Iran is really close to getting a nuclear weapon. Bibi Netanyahu has been saying that for 30 damn years. He's been saying for 30 years that Iran's just around the corner from getting a nuclear weapon. It's never been true. It's very doubtful it's true now. This is the playbook we run. This is the playbook the neocons always run. They say that some Middle Eastern country has weapons of mass destruction. So we need to, send our troops over there to stop it so there can be peace in the region. It's always a lie. And it's the same shit, and people are falling for it again. You see these MAGA influencers who are defending this, who are defending the potential military action. Now, to be fair, some of these people are not really MAGA. Mark Levin's is not really MAGA. Ben Shapiro's never really been MAGA. These are people who were never Trump in 2016 during the 2016 Republican primaries. So they're not really MAGA, but they are, they're seen as MAGA influencers, and they're pushing the same damn lies that the neocons that support regime change always put out there. And the other reason why we know that Iran's not close to a nuclear weapon is because Trump's own director of national intelligence told him they're not. Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, a month and a half, 2 months ago, released a report saying that Iran is not actively trying and is not close to getting a nuclear weapon. This is Trump. This is who Trump appointed, Tulsi Gabbard, the national intelligence. And in fact, he was also asked about Tulsi Gabbard, I think, on Air Force One. And then Trump had this to say about it.
You've always said that you don't believe Iran should be able to have a nuclear weapon. But how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having.
So I don't know how well you people are able to hear that. The audio quality wasn't that good, on the airplane. But Trump was asked by, I think, the CNN reporter, I think Collins, asked him about, how close Iran really is to a nuclear weapon, because Tulsi Gabbard testified that they weren't close. And then Trump said, I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to a nuclear weapon. It's like you're throwing your director of national intelligence under the bus like that. It's like, again, I can't defend this. Tulsi Gabbard's a patriot, and, she stuck her neck out for him. She was a former Democrat. Okay. You don't have to be disrespectful the way Trump was with her. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, Trump's rude, Trump's mean, because in the past it hasn't bothered me. So I don't want to be a hypocrite now that Trump's being critical of people I like and is for policies I don't support, that I want to, language police him. But Jesus Christ, man. It's like, get your shit together, dude. You look incompetent. You're disagreeing with your own. The director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard knows much more about how close Iran is to a nuclear weapon than frickin' Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, and Sean Hannity. Okay? And those are the people you're listening to? Why was Tulsi Gabbard not allowed during this meeting with Camp David that happened a week or so ago? Trump had all these national security advisors and people. They all went to Camp David, but Tulsi Gabbard was excluded? And shortly after the meeting at Camp David, Israel launches their attack on Iran? What's that all about? And this is what Trump does. When Trump, this has been well documented, unfortunately. This is just a character flaw Trump has. When Trump has made his mind on something, he doesn't want to hear counter opinions. He doesn't want to hear alternative thought. He doesn't want to hear any dissent. So, even if these people are in his cabinet or in his circle, he'll just ignore them. Or he'll create a distance between him and the people, even if they're trying to help him. I thought Trump had learned his lesson. Apparently he hasn't. And he's a man in his 70s, almost 80 now, so I guess it was sort of naive for me to think. But I thought Trump had learned that you cannot listen to the neocons, that these people were the reasons why there were mistakes during his first administration. And the whole reason you appoint someone like Tulsi Gabbard is to make sure you don't make the same mistakes. But then when she tries to do her job, you say you don't care what she has to say? What the hell? This is why why the real MAGA people like Tucker Carlson, others, Steve Bannon, Robert Barnes, Richard, that's why these people are, they're concerned that you're going full neocon, Mr. President. We do not need a fourth George W. Bush term. 3 were enough. The first term of HW and then the 2 terms of W, that was enough Bush for us. Okay, we don't need any more Bush. Okay, we're at a gay bar now. We don't need any more. We don't want any Bush. It's like the people at a gay bar. They're not looking for Bush. We weren't looking for Bush when we elected you, Mr. President, for a second term. Okay, we're not looking for another fucking regime change war in the Middle East. Okay. So I think there's three possibilities. I think there's a possibility that Trump is looking for an off-ramp, meaning that he's actually trying to look like he's about to attack Iran to basically force Iran's hand to get him to the negotiating table to get a deal done, to get the deal that Trump wants. I think that's a real possibility. And there was some reports in Axios that Trump is trying to get a ceasefire deal done. Now he disputed that on Truth Social, so I don't know how true that is or not, but there is that. So I think that's a possibility. I think the second possibility is that to the extent the U.S. is going to be involved, it's just going to be bombing nuclear facilities in Iran or they're doing enrichment. And we won't actually, it'll be sort of like what Trump was doing in Syria, where we're just in airplanes and we're just dropping bombs on, targeted areas. Now that'll probably lead to civilian casualties. So I don't support that, but I think that would be that wouldn't be as big of a mistake. The third possibility is that no, we'll actually, we'll get super involved. We may even put troops on the ground and we'll try to actually overthrow the regime. And the U.S. working with Israel, we will try to overthrow the Iran's current regime. That would be a disaster. And, that would destroy Trump's presidency. So hopefully he doesn't do that. Hopefully he's not George W. Trump and he's Donald Trump still. And he's, and that again, what he's really doing is the first option where he's just trying to force Iran's hand to get a deal done. But I don't know. It's just unfortunate that around literally the 10-year anniversary of Trump going on that escalator, he has to be doing potentially the biggest mistake of either of his presidencies. So, look, I don't, by the way, to the MAGA people who subscribe, I don't like saying this. I love Trump. I have so many MAGA hats. To my friends listening, they know this is true. I have so many Trump hats and Trump shirts. I've loved Trump since I was in high school. Since I was, young, and I defended him like with stupid college professors, high school professors, libtard family members. I don't like criticizing him, but I'm not going to let him destroy his presidency over Israel. Okay, that's not happening. And two, principles over, personality. I care much more about being anti-war than I care about just defending Trump. So that's the reality. So here's hoping Trump's just looking for an off-ramp. I think that's a possibility. There's some reporting that could be the possibility. So let's hope. And if you're religious, pray that this doesn't escalate into another regime change war in the Middle East, because that would just be a disaster. So anyway, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, whether it's on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.